Tyson is actually making into this earth. Everyone dies some stage, you know? So I think across the board, one has to be happy inside. No matter if other material possession one owns, how that's a car and driving. Very, very careful of other people we choose to hang around with and associate them, because you soon become like the people who spend versa with hell.
The sheep come to punch around of lions. She receive it on an eye. So pick your friends and your circle wisely. Much as the kids is, it starts to flourish and grow, and blossom, rather than perish, made away and died. So look at
Wheelchair, guys. Wheelchair,
Wheelchair, eh?
Wheelchair.
Muslims, Jews, Hindus, blacks, whites, Chineses, everybody on earth. This goes out to you. We are not divided. We are one peoples under God, united. That's what we are. Let no government, let no spokesperson, let no politician drive a wedge between humanity. Welcome your brothers and sisters as one. They are not your enemies. They are your brothers and sisters under God. We all came from Adam and Eve. In the beginning, everybody on earth. Remember that. Spread love.
The recent news surrounding Anthony Joshua has sent shockwaves far beyond the boxing ring, transcending the usual sports headlines to touch on universal themes of tragedy, resilience, and a profound fragility of life. What began as a triumphant period for former heavyweight champion, fresh off a high-profile victory that captured global attention, dissolved in an instant on a Nigerian road. The harrowing car accident that AJ survived is not merely a footnote in a career. It is a life-altering event that has left deep, invisible scars alongside the physical repercussions of high-speed impact. While initial reports brought the immense relief that Joshua had somehow walked away from the wreckage of his SUV after colliding with a stationary truck, that relief was immediately overshadowed by devastating heartbreak. Two close friends traveling with him did not survive the crash. This horrific reality has plunged Joshua into a complex struggle that goes far deeper than recovering from whiplash or bruising. He is now navigating the labyrinthine corridors of grief, trauma, and the heavy burden of survivor's guilt.
When you've got people around you and you're close to your people, and you think a lot, it's going to have a big effect. So it will be. It's going to be an emotional wrecking ball ride for him for quite a while. It will be. It's the loss. The loss is, you can't put a word on it. It's that deep.
All while under the unforgiving glare of the public eye. The gravity of the situation was perhaps most poignantly illustrated by the immediate reaction of Tyson Fury. In a world driven by manufactured rivalries and trash talk, Fury's response was a stark reminder of the humanity that exists beneath the surface of professional combat sports. Putting aside their long-standing professional animosity, Fury's first words after meeting with Joshua revealed a profound depth of concern for his rival's well-being that had nothing to do with boxing rankings. Fury seemed to instantly recognize that the crash and the tragic loss of close friends had shaken AJ to his very core, mentally and emotionally. His visit underlined a harsh truth, that even the most disciplined champions, men trained to endure extreme physical punishment, are not immune to life's shocking emotional blows. Fury took the opportunity to broadcast a message of unity that transcended the immediate incident, calling out to people of all faiths and backgrounds, Christians, Muslims, Jews, Hindus, and everyone in between, emphasizing that beneath surface divisions, humanity is one. His impassioned plea to let no politician or government drive wedges between people and to welcome brothers and sisters under God serve as a powerful thematic backdrop to the personal tragedy Joshua was enduring. It was a reminder that in the face of death and trauma, our shared humanity is the only thing that truly matters. Peter Fury echoed these sentiments, capturing the intense mental struggle that now defines Joshua's existence. Losing two friends in a single, violent moment is a devastating psychological cataclysm. The emotional shock of such an event doesn't fade when the hospital discharge papers are signed. It follows the survivor home, sits with him in the quiet moments, and permeates every thought. Peter Fury noted that this emotional wrecking ball ride would likely continue for quite some time. The loss is too deep for simple words. And for someone like AJ, who values the tight-knit circle of people around him, the absence of those friends will be a constant, aching void. He must now process grief alongside the inevitable what-ifs that haunt survivors of fatal accidents, making his recovery as much a mental battle as it is a physical one. The world may be watching for his return to the gym, but his most significant fight is currently taking place within his own mind. Adding a deeply unsettling layer of complexity to an already horrific situation are the emerging legal developments reported in the aftermath. What was initially perceived by many as a tragic, unavoidable accident involving a tire blowout has shifted into a criminal investigation. Reports indicate that Anthony Joshua's driver, Adeniyi, is facing serious felony charges in Nigeria for reckless driving, carrying a potential prison sentence of up to 7 years if convicted in relation to the fatalities on a federal road. This shocking twist introduces an entirely new dimension of stress to Joshua's trauma. He is no longer just a grieving survivor. He is now potentially a central figure in a legal proceeding involving the actions of his own employee that led to the deaths of his friends. The psychological burden of this is immense. AJ survived a near-fatal crash, is mourning 2 deaths, and now must navigate the murky waters of legal scrutiny and culpability. It is a tense, suffocating mix of relief at being alive, overwhelming grief for the fallen, and the shock of a criminal investigation, leaving AJ to manage both emotional and judicial storms simultaneously. Johnny Nelson reflected on this devastating human cost, urging the public to look beyond the sensationalist headlines. The core reality is that 2 lives were tragically cut short, and a global icon narrowly escaped the same fate, leaving everyone involved grappling with shock. Nelson emphasized perspective, noting how instantly trivial fights, beefs, and boxing rivalries become when contrasted with real-life questions of life and death. The sad reality forces a re-evaluation of priorities. AJ is now forced to cope with the haunting reality of losing close friends in a split second, a trauma that will undoubtedly affect those who witness the aftermath mentally and emotionally. The focus shifts from athletic performance to the stark realization that these were 2 men who were someone's children, someone's brothers, and their loss is permanent. Even former adversaries like Jarrell Miller shared deeply human perspectives on AJ's ordeal, highlighting how mentally exhausting this tragedy is for everyone watching, let alone experiencing it. Despite not being on the best terms with Joshua traditionally, Miller expressed genuine empathy, realizing that such a tragedy could strike anyone's family or friends. He spoke to the mental drain of seeing such traumatic events play out relentlessly online, forcing the survivor to relive the trauma repeatedly through news cycles and social media commentary. Miller's reflection demonstrates how personal connections and shared human experiences can override professional rivalries, recognizing that this crash is a psychological battle AJ must endure, far removed from the controlled violence of the ring. While the emotional toll is paramount, the physical reality of the crash cannot be ignored. Perspectives from the Pain game emphasize just how brutal high-speed vehicle accidents are on the human frame. Even a fighter accustomed to taking extreme punishment in the ring cannot simply shrug off the kinetic energy of a major car crash. While AJ survived without immediate life-threatening injuries, his body was undoubtedly subjected to immense stress from both the impact and the subsequent extraction process. The careful handling required at crash scenes underscores the fragility of the human body, regardless of how conditioned it might be. Survivors of such impacts often face a long road of physical therapy and latent pain as their bodies process the trauma, meaning AJ is likely dealing with significant physical discomfort alongside his emotional wounds. Eddie Hearn provided a cautiously optimistic update, expressing the collective relief of AJ's team and fans worldwide that he appeared to avoid major, career-ending physical injuries. However, Hearn subtly reminded everyone that the sheer luck involved in surviving such a high-risk accident could not be overstated. Even minor,